strolling in from the bullpen, getting ready to make the start tonight here against the Cleveland Indians on a nice night for baseball here in the Motor City. And if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Manny Acta's Cleveland Indians have really struggled in the second half. However, they took a victory from the Tigers yesterday. Very aggressive brand of baseball in his 3rd season as the Indians manager. We'll check out his starting lineup tonight. It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Shin-Soo Choo leads it off. He'll play in right field, followed by Jason Kipnis and Asdrubal Cabrera. Carlos Santana is in there today batting clean up the DH. Then Michael Brantley, Russ Kanzler, and a bottom 3 of Kochman, Hanahan, and Lou Marson. Well, back in May, in fact on the 17th of May, Rob, the Cleveland Indians had a nice little comfy lead early on, but as happened last year, they kind of faltered in the second half and the standings look a whole lot different.
Well, nothing has gone right for Manny Acta since May 17th. Their starting pitching has not been very good. They have not been getting many clutch hits at all in their bullpen, which was pretty much the strength of their club. They've been overused in the last couple of months, so they are just scuffling, but they play their best baseball against Detroit.
Well, Rick Porcello is the Tigers starting pitcher tonight. He is presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
It would be nice to see Porcello go out there and get that 10th victory of the year. He's been trying for about 5 starts to get to that number, which he has been at his first 4 years in the major leagues. He checks in with an ERA just a shade over 4.5, and you all know Porcello by now. He's at his best when he's got his really good sinker and he throws more breaking balls and changeups very early in the game. Let's take a peek at the Tigers' defensive alignment this evening. Behind Porcello is Jackson back out in center field after an afternoon off yesterday. You have Cabrera and Peralta and Infante and Don Kelly getting a rare start at first base, the second time this year. Prince Fielder has been used as the DH.
Well, you know Don Kelly's story. He was designated for assignment on August 3rd, and after spending or actually being called back up from his designation, his contract was purchased, and it's kind of a neat story to see Donnie Kelly back here in a Tigers uniform. He'll be playing first base tonight for Prince Fielder, who will DH this evening, but Kelly always has been one of Jim Leland's favorites.
Kelly did not want to go anywhere. He could have simply taken his release and gone somewhere else and probably played AAA, and who knows whether he'd have been called up to the major leagues or not, but he knew that Jim Leland very fond of the kind of game that he played, so he elected to go down to Toledo, and he finds himself back in the major leagues once again, and he might even find himself on the postseason roster if the Tigers get there.
And Don Kelly, of course, spelling Fielder, who is getting a night off, so to speak, getting him off his feet for at least a night. Well deserved for Prince Fielder. Well, as Porcello continues to warm up, we remind you that you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game tonight. It's presented by the Angus 3rd Pounder Deluxe. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com.
First inning is going to be critical here for Rick Porcello against the Cleveland Indians. The first 4 hitters that they will run up here against him tonight: Choo, Kipnis, Cabrera, and Santana. They all have really good numbers against Porcello. Porcello must keep him off the board here in the first inning.
And Shin-Soo Choo was on base, it seemed, all day yesterday. He drew 3 walks. He finished 1 for 2 and is hit safely now in his last 4. And Choo will start things off for the Indians tonight. Porcello ready to go to work, and here we go. Tonight's first pitch of the ball game is grounded toward first and foul. No balls and 1 strike on Shin-Soo Choo.
7 of the 9 hitters that Manny Acta will run out here tonight against Porcello swing the bat left-handed, and left-handers have a slight edge batting average wise this year against Porcello. They're hitting .329 against him. Surprised at that number against righties at .297.
Rick gives up a lot of hits, righties or lefties. In fact, he gives up about 11.5 hits per 9 innings. And that sinker, though, has given him some help with some double play balls. Choo is at .318 versus Porcello. And now he was ready with the 0-2, but Choo steps out on it. 79-degree night here in the Motor City. Had some clouds, some rains earlier today, but it's cleared up. And bounces in, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Choo. Vila took the brunt of that one, as he typically does.
He took one off the chops early today.
Knocked his mask right off. Nothing new for Alex. 1-2 on Shin Soo Choo. And a foul straight back.
Not a bad pitch there by Porcello with 2 strikes. A firm fastball at 94 inside. He did a lot of that in his last start against the Kansas City Royals. Pitched aggressively inside with the fastball.
Again, the 1-2 pitch. And Choo swings and strikes out. Porcello has his first of the night.
The previous 94-mile-per-hour fastball set up this breaking ball, because if you're Choo, you're thinking fastball because it's on the same plane and it's in the same area. It's down and it's in, but the late life on the breaking ball and the depth caused Choo to swing right over the top of it.
Here is Jason Kipnis batting .257. Pretty good game yesterday. Was 2 for 5, scored a run.
Talking to Kipnis yesterday about his approach. You see the way that he holds the bat right there before he gets it up into an area where he wants it to be.
Lifted in the air toward left. It's chasing Dirks back. Edge of the warning track. 2 gone.
I'll talk about Kipnis a little bit more when he comes up next time, but he said that he started doing that when he signed to play professional baseball, because he used to wrap the bat around his head when he was in college. And you can get away with an aluminum bat, but when you start playing pro ball, when you have a bad wrap around your neck, it's hard to get to the baseball. He found himself getting jammed all the time.
Well, it served him well as Cabrera stands in. Now Struble 2 for 3 yesterday, couple of RBIs. And Cabrera had the sacrifice fly that put the Indians ahead 3-2, and they won the ball game. There's a ball low. 1-0 on Asdrubal Cabrera. His sac fly came in the 7th inning on Brian Villarreal. Now Porcello's 1-0 pitch. That's in there, 1-1. Cabrera, despite the good game yesterday, really has struggled. He is 6 for his last 42. A much better first half than second half. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Struble now has knocked in just 13 runs since the break, 42 before the All-Star break. Average is down, home runs are down. The 2-1 pitch. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Peralta to the grass. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Rick Porcello. We'll head to the bottom of the first. No score. Was getting dissed by the kid. Get pause. Here's the starting lineup for the Tigers, brought to you by Big Boy. It's Jackson Dirks Cabrera at the top. Fielder is the DH today. Then Bosch and Kelly at first. Peralta, Avila, and Infante, your bottom three. And the first pitch to Austin Jackson is a ball high. Jackson back in there, batting .306.
And Tigers need to get ready to hit that fastball. Masterson will feature a lot of those, and they'll all be about 95 miles an hour.
Masterson, 27 years old, born in Kingston, Jamaica. AJ waiting for the 1-1, and he cuts and misses 1-2.
Masterson is the first Jamaican-born pitcher to ever pitch in the big leagues. Fourth overall player.
Here's the 1-2. Little chopper that goes foul. Well, he's an imposing figure. He stands 6'6", 250.
His manager nicknamed him Big Nasty last year. I don't know what he's calling him this year, but Big Nasty was that nickname a season ago.
Now the 1-2. Whistled foul. Back into the seats, 96, and Jackson was late. Austin has hit 13 homers this year. That's a career high. He's also knocked in 53. Trying to get something started here in the very first inning against Masterson. And he takes just off the plate, 2-2. Dirks and then Cabrera to follow. Andy Dirks waiting on deck. Here's the 2-2. Bouncing ball, third base side. Nice pick there by Hanahan. Got the short hop and threw him out, one away. Masterson tonight is presented by Fox Toyota of Rochester Hills.
And Justin has won 10 games this year. He has lost 12 games. The ERA is just a shade under 5. He has not gotten a whole lot of run support from his teammates this year. They're only getting him about 3.5 runs a game, which is 5th worst in the majors. So with any run support whatsoever, his win-loss record would be a little bit better.
Nor has he pitched well here at Comerica Park. Dirks looks at ball one. In 3 career starts here at Comerica, he's given up 14 earned runs in a little over 16 innings. They've had his number here. Breaking ball bends outside, 2-0. Dirks batting .327. And he takes a 2-0 outside, 3-0.
Justin Masterson went to San Diego State at the same time that Quentin Berry was there, so they were teammates playing for the Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn.
That's in there, 3-1. Dirks was 0 for 4 in the opener yesterday. The 3-1 pitch in there, 3-2. Dirks about to discard the bat. Jim Reynolds said not so fast. Full count. And a swing and a miss. After falling behind 3-0, he strikes him out.
And Cleveland Indians line up this way defensively this evening. Kanzler was the DH last night. He's in left field here tonight. Brantley and Chu in the outfield along with him. Kochman, Kipnis, Cabrera, and Hanahan in the infield. And Lou Marson is catching the 2nd consecutive game.
So here is Cabrera with 2 outs. Miguel 7 out of 13 on the homestand. And he shoots one towards second. Right there is Kipnis. And the soft line out ends the inning. 1 inning in the books. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Ram now get a great deal on a new Ram truck at the Ram Summer Clearance event going on right now. And by Kellogg's, start school like a champion. You could win 100 instantly on specially marked packages. Back here at the ballpark in a scoreless ball game tonight. We head to the top of the second at Comerica. Indians and Tigers, game 2 in the series. It'll be Santana, Brantley, and Kanzler facing the right-hander, Rick Porcello. Rick needed just 11 pitches to get through a 1-2-3 first. Santana, the DH, leading it off. And he bends away from a strike, 0-1. Santana did not play last night or yesterday. He's playing here tonight. .248 batting average. He'll take his walks. In fact, he leads the Indians with 75 base on balls.
Santana did not have a good first half from an offensive standpoint, but he has been one of their better performers the second half of the season.
2-1.
He got a lot of power in that bat. Switch hitter, takes a big swing. As a matter of fact, Bruce Fields has tried to encourage Santana to cut his swing down with 2 strikes. Of course, Bruce is the hitting coach of the Cleveland Indians.
Now run the count to 3-1 on Santana. There's Bruce. Former manager in the Tigers minor league system, former hitting coach here. And the 3-1 offering. Pulled on the ground and through out of the reach of a diving Don Kelly. Santana is aboard with the leadoff single, and we remind you this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here's Michael Brantley. Brantley is hitting 5th in the game today, bumped down 1 spot. He was batting cleanup yesterday and was 1 for 4. Showing bunt, and he takes it outside, 1-0. Brantley has knocked in 55. Doesn't strike out a whole lot. In fact, only 2 guys in the American League will strike out less than Brantley, or at least this year have, and that's Ben Revere and Ichiro. Now the 1-0. 2-0 on Michael Brantley. Now Porcello trying to get his 10th win in this game tonight. He has been unsuccessful in his previous 4 starts to try and get number 10. Well, maybe tonight is the night. That's in there. 2-1 on Brantley.
He has not pitched poorly, however, in those 4 starts. He just has not gotten a whole lot of offense and very little margin for error. Therefore, wins have been very hard to come by for Porcello. Last 3 starts, 0-3 ERA, not all that bad, not for a team that's averaging 6 runs a game pretty much since July 4th, but he has not been the recipient of any of that run support.
Yeah, those numbers should not yield an 0-3 record in that span. 3-2 now on Brantley. There have been only 4 other guys in the history of baseball, or at least since 1900, that have won 10 or more their first 4 years in the big leagues, and Porcello is trying to join them with a win tonight.
You talked about Brantley very hard to strike out. Therefore, we might see Santana on the move on this 3-2 pitch.
Lifted toward left field, slicing, and that will get back out of play.
Manny Acta, the manager of the Cleveland Indians, is not going to make it easy for Porcello to get out of this with a runner on first base. He knows that Porcello, since he's been in the major leagues, he throws 2 ground balls to every fly ball.
The other pitchers that have won 10 or more games each of their first 4 years, Chief Bender back in the early 1900s.
Chief.
Burt Blyleven, Dwight Gooden, and Dennis Eckersley. He would join some pretty good names in baseball history. 3-2 on Michael Brantley. Just underway here in the top of the second, scoreless game. Leadoff single by Santana. And the runner goes again. It's fouled off again. Brantley earlier this year had one of the longest hitting streaks in baseball. It was a 22 gamer. Not the longest this year, though, in the American League. That belongs to Robinson Cano, who had a 23 game streak. Jose Reyes over in the National League, 26 in a row. Runner on the move. And a slicing line drive to left field. That is a fair ball on the line. Here comes Santana rounding third. They're going to send him home. Peralta's relay is held up. It's a double and an RBI for Michael Brantley. One nothing Indians.
Pretty good at bat here by Brantley. He knew that every single pitch that he was getting from Porcello was trying to hit the outside corner. So finally, on that last pitch, which was not a bad pitch, he was able to slice it down in that left field corner. Actually, it didn't get all the way to the corner, but Santana able to score all the way from first because he was on the move.
.36 double of the year for Brantley, and back-to-back hits here in the second, giving the Indians the lead. Russ Kanzler looks at a strike, 0-1. He was 1 for 4 yesterday. Called up recently from Columbus, and there are the numbers at Columbus. Not only 22 homers, but 36 two-base hits.
The 22 homers, the doubles, and the RBIs were leading the International League at the time that Kanzler was called up.
The 0-1. Bouncing ball left side. Peralta will backhand it. Brantley unable to move up. And Kanzler is out. One gone. Here's Casey Kochman. First ground ball out that Porcello has recorded here tonight. Kochman batting .230, was hitless yesterday, although he hit a screaming bullet to Prince Fielder at first that resulted in a line double play. And he bounces this one to first base. Donnie Kelly has it. He'll tag the bag for the out, advance the runner to third, 2 gone.
That's why it's critical for Kanzler. When Brantley was on second base and there was nobody out, you have to get that runner over to third, because had he done so, more than likely, that's an RBI right there in the second run of the inning for the Cleveland Indians.
And now Porcello, as a result, can get out of this thing, allowing just the 1 run as Hanahan stands in. He was 1 for 2 yesterday. It's not been a really good second half for Hanahan. He has spent some time on the DL this year, but it's a second half in which he's hitting just .194. Ball 1.
There's really only been one team in the majors that has played as poorly as the Cleveland Indians have for the second half of the year, and that would be the Houston Astros over in the senior circuit.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Since the 27th of July, it certainly has been a summer slide for Cleveland.
ERA 7. Hitting with runners in scoring position, 204.
You mentioned the Astros. I was looking at their numbers earlier today. They've won 14 road games this year.
And ironically, Manny Acta chose the Cleveland Indians over the Houston Astros a couple of years ago.
That's right. The 2-0 is a strike, 2-1 on Hanahan.
For those of you that do not know, Manny Acta was basically offered the Houston Astros job and the Cleveland Indians job on the exact same day. And he chose Cleveland over Houston because he felt like their prospects were further along and they would be able to compete more than the Astros.
Fouled back out of play. 2-2 on Hanahan. Houston is 42-93.
They've already fired their manager, Brad Mills, this year, and some of his coaches.
And they're coming to the American League next year. 39.5 games out. Here's the 2-2. Right back up the middle into center. Base hit. Hanahan has a 2-out single to score Brantley. And the Indians a 2-0 lead.
It's a good thing to see Porcello getting to some of his secondary pitches here early in the game. But here's a breaking ball with 2 strikes that Hanahan just kind of reaches out. He left it up, and he's able to hit it right over Johnny Peralta's head.
26th RBI for Hanahan. Here's the number 9 hitter, Lou Marson. Check swing, ball 1. Marson caught yesterday, and his catching tonight as well was 1 for 4 in the opener. Scored a run. The 1-0 pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Marston has knocked in 12 this year. In a good count here, the 2-0 is hit on the ground left side, right at Cabrera. They'll get the force at second, ending the inning. However, 2 runs in for the Indians. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. The 2nd here at the ballpark. Prince Fielder getting set to step in. Miguel Cabrera and Fielder won a pair of awards. Get this, Cabrera was the player of the month in the American League, and Fielder was the player of the month for the Tigers.
Well, you can't argue with either of the numbers.
Yeah, they both had a great month.
Prince walked a lot in the month as well. Very unselfish in the month of August. He took a lot of walks, which set the stage for Delman Young to pick up a lot of RBIs.
Fielder batting .313, had a double in the ball game yesterday. It looked like it was going to be a 9th inning in which the Tigers would at least tie it up because Prince was able to lead the inning off of the 2-base hit.
Tigers didn't execute in that inning. They had a runner on second, less than 2 outs. They didn't get Prince over to third base. Therefore, he was left standing there.
Strike call. 1-2 on Fielder.
And you have to execute against this Cleveland team, especially when they play against the Tigers, because for whatever reason, they play their best baseball against Detroit.
Well, he beat the shift right back up the middle. Right by us, Dribble Cabrera had a leadoff single.
Prince continues to hit the ball with authority against Justin Masterson. He nearly hit 2 homers off of him when they met in a game earlier this year. He doubled the first time, homered the second time up, and just hit an absolute seed right back up the box.
He has the first Tigers hit of tonight's game as Bosch stands in. And he looks at ball 1. Indians got a couple of runs in the top of the second. Tigers looking to answer here. Bosch at 247 had a 1-for-3 day yesterday. Kochman playing in front of Prince Fielder. Swing and a miss. Six for 20 against Masterson, which computes out to an even 300. Here's the 1-1. Way outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Masterson was acquired from the Boston Red Sox a couple of years ago at the deadline, and it was a trade that involved Victor Martinez, who is now, of course, a Detroit Tiger. It was a deadline deal in 2009.
He was pitching out of the bullpen at that time for the Boston Red Sox.
And the 2-1. Back out of play, 2-2.
And when Cleveland acquired him, he initially pitched out of the bullpen for them as well. But then that following season, they inserted him into their starting rotation.
Indians coming into the season had hoped that Ubaldo Jimenez, Justin Masterson at the top of their rotation would give them 2 very strong options. Here's the 2-2. Little chopper hit slowly toward first. Kochman has only 1 play, and that's to tag the runner out. Prince moves up. And that'll bring up Don Kelly.
Don Kelly has good numbers against Justin Masterson in his career, and that's one of the reasons why Prince Fielder is a DH here tonight. Kelly also gets a chance to swing the bat and play first base.
So Kelly stands in with a chance to drive in a run. 333 against Masterson. And a ball high and away. 1-0 on Don Kelly. Masterson had an easy 14-pitch 1-2-3 first inning, but he has encountered some trouble here in the second. Here's the 1-0. Rolled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, Kelly just did not quite have the year this year that he did last season when he provided the Tigers with a lot of key hits, especially late in the season, into the postseason. And it was difficult for Jim Leyland and the Tigers to designate Kelly for assignment, but he remained in the Tigers organization, and now he's back up here in September. Strike called. 1-2. One of the things that Leyland has always loved about Kelly is his versatility and his ability to play different positions.
He's a good kid too. That plays into it as well.
Here is Masterson's 1-2, way outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Because it wouldn't be hard for most managers to send someone down batting 173 with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. But he's a wonderful human being, and he plays the game hard, and he comes to the ballpark every single day prepared to win and help his team in any way he can.
Here's the 2-2 offering. Bouncing ball left side. Hanahan has it, checks the runner. Kelly is out, and Prince unable to move up. 2 gone. And they'll take a hit now from Johnny Peralta. Peralta at 254, had an RBI in yesterday's game. 55 driven in now for Johnny. And a strike called. Masterson coming off a start in which he was tagged for 8 runs in 4 innings on Thursday against the Oakland Athletics. Threw 89 pitches in that game and was beaten by an Athletics team that continues to surprise out in the American League West. Oh, and 2. It's fouled back out of play. Kind of been an up and down stretch for Masterson in his last 6.
Yeah, there is some inconsistency there as far as the earned run column is concerned. One good one, one bad one, one good one, one bad one.
That start there on the 8th against Minnesota was one of the good ones, and that broke an 11-game losing streak that the Indians had.
It's the second time this year that the Cleveland Indians had a double-digit losing streak, which Masterson snapped by getting a win. He was their opening day starter this year for the first time in his major league career.
And again the 0-2. Breaking low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Ubaldo getting ready for tomorrow.
They'll go in the series finale. Here's the 1-2 and a swing and a miss. Peralta goes down and the Tigers are out in the second. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. Arby's. Try Arby's new hot turkey roasters. It's the greatest thing since sliced roast beef. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here at the ballpark, Ernie Harwell, the statue here at Comerica Park. Who's that guy? Is that Rod Allen?
That would be me.
Look at you with an autograph and everything.
Wow, I signed that for someone.
You remember signing it?
I do not.
Just thought I'd ask. There's a strike called on Shin-Soo Choo as we go to the third.
I like those uniforms, though. We've worn those uniforms a couple times this year on the road. I like those unis.
They seem to be somewhat form-fitting back then.
Well, that's how you wore them back then.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, some of us could wear them tight.
1 ball, 1 strike. Now, were there some guys that couldn't wear them that tight?
Yeah, there's a few.
They'd look good. Let's see. Well, obviously it's on the road somewhere. I wonder where that's impossible to tell. Nice photo. Here's the 1-1 to Choo. Little looper, fair down the third baseline. How about that? Choo is on his way to second. And he'll pull in with a bloop double.
You got to be kidding me.
A little flare shot there. It's their 4th hit of the night.
It's a breaking ball that stays up. Remember, he struck Choo out his first time up on a breaking ball that was down. Now that breaking ball stayed up, and it allowed Choo to get to it and muscle it right over the head of Miguel Cabrera.
37 doubles now for Choo. Kipnis up there. He's 0 for 1 with the fly ball. In there for strike 1. We were talking earlier about how Kipnis uses that flat bat, and the reason he does that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else do it like that. Have you?
No, I've never really seen a starting point like this. Mickey Tettleton, I think, may have had his bat flat a little bit. I'm trying to think if it was Mickey Tettleton. One of the Tigers used to do that.
Yeah, he did, actually. And so did Carew, now that I think about it.
But Kipnis says that one of the things that he does is once he gets his bat flat, he kind of lines his knuckles up. And he used to be one of those guys that held the bat way back in his thumb area, but he holds the bat in his fingertips. And the reason that he lines it up, you see how the knuckles are lined up perfectly? That's one of the reasons why he does it as well. And that gives you hand quickness and good bat speed. And he says he has not been able to stop doing it since he started doing it after he signed his professional contract.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Kipnis.
I mean, it's almost like a golf grip, so to speak. And for you kids at home, if you can learn to hold that bat out in your fingertips opposed to deep in the palm of your hand, it will give you a lot more bat speed. It's not easy to do, and it feels uncomfortable initially, but if you can somehow figure out a way just to get the bat out into your fingertips, much better swings.
Here's the 2-2. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes on Kipnis. Well, Porcello gave up an RBI double to Brantley in the second, RBI single to Hanahan, and now a bloop double off the bat of Choo. Popped up foul. That'll get back out of play. Kipnis leads the Indians with 65 RBIs. Overall has had a pretty good season. The second half has not nearly been as good as the numbers he had put up in the first half.
Really no secret what pieces they're missing from an offensive standpoint. When the leader on your club has 65 RBIs and you're already in the month of September, you need a couple of guys in the middle of the order that can drive in 85, drive in 90 runs for you.
Yeah, that's a good point. You've got Kipnis at 65. You've got Santana at 61.
They have no problem getting base hits, but they have a difficult time of driving them in. They need a proven RBI guy. But they're going to have to spend money to get that guy.
And again, the 3-2. Fouled away again. So Kipnis giving him a battle. All of the hits yesterday for the Tribe were singles. They had 11 of them.
Yeah, they just chipped away at the Tigers yesterday.
Ninth pitch coming up in this at bat. And instead, Porcello will bluff to second.
Tigers are going to have to pay attention to the Indians today when they're on the bases. They stole 4 bases yesterday, so you can't make it easy on them.
Pulled and caught by Kelly. First out of the inning. While we have a chance, back to the studio we go for a game break. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. There is panic in New York. Their lead down to 1 in the American League East over the Orioles. And Tampa 2.5 back. Yankees have been banged up as well. A lot of their key pieces have missed some time. Cabrera sends a ground ball fair and right by Kelly down the first base line. That'll get another run in. And Cabrera will pull into second with a ground rule double. Jim Leland's going to come out and argue this. You could tell initially by the crowd's reaction they thought it was well foul, and Porcello arguing the same thing. James Hoy is the first base umpire.
It appeared to be an 83-mile-per-hour changeup that was down, and it looked like he got around it, Cabrera. And I don't know from that angle whether it was fair or foul, but the pitch was down. And the ball boy picked it up, but no harm, no foul. It would have been a double even if he would not have picked it up. So that's not an issue.
Even the ball boy thought it was foul.
Absolutely.
31st double of the year for Cabrera. It was a short argument from Leland. Not a whole lot he can do. We go out there and say it was foul. He says it was fair, and that's about it. 3-0 in favor of the Indians. Here is Santana.
I don't think Jim was out arguing the fact that Chu wouldn't have scored. I think he was more talking about whether it was fair or foul.
Yeah, you could tell by Leland's gyrations he was showing like a hooking motion as if to say that ball was foul. But as it stands, Cabrera gets his 56th RBI.
It's not where it lands, it's where it goes over the base, which determines whether it's a fair ball or a foul ball down the third base line or the first base line.
Missed again. 2-1. Cabrera, Brantley, and Hanahan with the RBIs tonight. The Indians lead 3-0.
Here's where Santana doesn't get cheated. He takes a huge rip when he gets himself in fastball friendly counts.
Vila again took a direct shot. Santana had a single to start the second, came around to score on the Brantley double. He's 6 for his last 13 now, the average at 249. The 75 walks that Santana has is good for 3rd in the American League. And now Porcello taking too long, and he wants Avila to come out. Rick this year has done some of his best work against the Central, an ERA a little bit over 3 against Central Division teams. There's a strike called on the inside corner. Santana punched out of there.
That's a good 92-mile-per-hour fastball, swing back fashion that Santana, he was jackknifing out of the way, and the ball simply caught the inside corner.
Mazda scouting report, starting pitching for the Tigers in the last 6, an ERA of 1.38. As they're going to walk Brantley now with first base open, and Kanzler waiting on deck. This will put runners at first and second. They'll take their shot at Kanzler. Brantley had himself an RBI double in his first AB.
And Brantley also the last calendar year, he's been hitting Tigers pitching at a pretty good clip, well over 300.
And there is ball 4, so that will complete the intentional walk. So we'll see how Kanzler responds. He bounced out back in the second.
That was the 4th intentional base on balls this year of Michael Brantley.
Really?
And he leads their club in that department.
Kanzler looks at ball 1. Well, that's going to fall well short of the Tigers leader. Prince Fielder has been walked 17 times intentionally. Cabrera 12 times. The 1-0. Kanzler hits a high fly ball to left. Andy Dirks under it. And that's going to end the inning. So the strategy works. Indians get another run, though. They lead 3-0.
Form in yesterday's game and earlier this year. The Cleveland Indians stole 4 bases yesterday. It appears that Avila was rushing every single throw, whereas earlier against the Angels, he was getting on top of the baseball and he was really throwing the ball down on the bag. That was actually Toronto. But take a look here at Avila. 2 areas. Here's the foot where he's closed up. Also, take a look at the shoulder. The shoulder's closed. Look on the right. You can see he's opened up with the foot, and also the shoulder has already opened up. Therefore, the throws yesterday were all up, and the other throws were right on the bag because of the technique and the form. I was talking to Avila before the game today, and I was asking him, did he realize that he was opening up prematurely yesterday? And he said he hadn't realized that he'd go take a peek at it, but that's just a minor correction there with the feet.
That was a nice piece of video there because it really illustrated how well he or how much he opened up and how that affected his throws.
It's a natural tendency for catchers. When you see that base runner get as big a jumps as they were getting yesterday when Sanchez was on the bump, you're going to rush, and every time you rush, you see throws that are high or throws to the second base side of second base because the arm is dragging, the body's not catching up.
Here's the 2-0 to Alex, which again is another reason why I'm not really a fan of the percentage, the caught stealing percentage for catchers, because so much of that depends on how quickly they get the baseball.
He had no shot yesterday.
2-1. Avila, Infante, Jackson here in the bottom of the third. Indians on top 3-0. They've out hit the Tigers 5-1. Masterson giving up a single to Prince in the second. That's it so far. Little looper toward left field. There's another base hit. Little drop in. Avila taking the turn. He's on his way to second, and he will get in there safely with a slide.
I also posed the question to Avila because I noticed how earlier, toward the end of August, he was really able to get on that left knee and throw the baseball. I said, plain and simple, is your left knee bothering you again? And he looked me straight in the face and said, no, my knee is fine, so that left knee is not an issue for him. It's great hustle here by Avila. Head down, thinking 2 out of the batter's box.
Now the Tigers have to get him in. That has been an issue at times, as Avila has his 18th double.
We get him over first. We'll go baby steps.
Okay. I'm all for that. Infante trying to get him over first. And he hits one foul down the third base line. Omar 2 out of 14 in the homestand. Indians got 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Masterson came in with an ERA just south of 6 in 9 career starts against the Tigers. And a bouncing ball to the right side. Nicely done. Omar does his job, advanced the runner to third, 1 gone. There is step 1.
Even though you trail by 3 runs, you still have to play the game the right way. If you get a runner on second base, nobody out, you can clearly see with the concentration on the swing there of Infante. He's trying to hit something in that direction, which he does. And now it's up to Jackson to get him in.
Austin 0 for 1 with a ground ball to third. And it's lined to second and caught right at Kipnis.
You've got to be kidding me.
Well, it's the second time you've said that tonight. The other was on a fluke double, and now a bullet hit right at the second baseman. So Masterson gets a break there. He's got one more hurdle though as Andy Dirk steps in. Andy struck out in the first. Ball 1. Middle game in this 3-game series. Indians won the opener yesterday in a tight one, 3-2. Here's the 1-0. Fouled straight back. 1-1 on Dirks. Andy a strikeout victim in the first, now 0 for 5 in the series. He has really hit right-handed pitching extremely well. 349 coming in. 2-1.
We told you earlier that part of the problem regarding Masterson when he goes up against the Tigers, he tries to overpower them with fastballs, and they've always had good fastball hitting teams. In the 44 pitches he's thrown, 90% have been heaters.
Right back to the mound, and he caught it. Another bullet, 2 rockets, and that deserves another. You got to be kidding me.
You're right.
3 in the books. It's 3-0 Indians. Sitting now here at the ballpark. Justin Masterson giving up a couple of line drives, no damage though. Rick Porcello, meanwhile, would like to get a few more ground balls. He had a lot of them in his last 2 starts. 2 outings in which he struck out 10 total. Kochman leads it off, and he looks at strike 1. Rick in those 2 starts gave up 2 runs in each game. Kochman had a bounce out back to the first baseman in the 2nd inning. That missed low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kochman now 0 for 5 in the series. Here's the 1-1. 2-1 on Kochman. He's bounced around a little bit since being a #1 pick of the Los Angeles Angels back in 2001. He's been with several different organizations. A chopper hit to the shortstop. Peralta backhanding it, and Kochman is out. There's a ground ball out.
Hey, fan, every game counts. Don't miss the Tigers when they battle the Oakland A's September 18th through the 20th during their only trip to Comerica Park this year. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Oakland A's 4 back in the West.
Hope they cool off before they roll into Comerica Park. Angels cooled them off last night.
Here's Hanahan. Little chopper slowly back towards second. Infante with a quick flip, and there are 2 gone. Well, we asked for the ground balls. We got a couple of them. We'll bring up Lou Marson. Marson heading into a force to close out the 2nd. And that is it for a strike. 0-1. Indians since the break have won just 13 games, 13-37. There's a chopper hit to the shortstop. Peralta has an easy play on this one as well, and a 7-pitch inning for Rick Porcello. 3 ground ball outs. Now that's more like it. Question: who has hit the most home runs all time versus the Indians in Tigers franchise history? Could it be Hank? Could it be Al? Could it be Willie?
Good question tonight.
Or could it be Cabrera? And probably not enough history there at this point. Masterson back to work, and Cabrera looks at a strike. Cabrera, fielder, Bosch here in the 4th inning, 3-0 Indians. Miguel 0 for 1, lined out to the second baseman Kipnis his first time up. Ball outside, 1-1 the count. Masterson gave up a leadoff double in the 3rd to Avila. Tigers couldn't get him in. Check swing, strike call. 1-2 on Cabrera. Grounded foul. Masterson, for the first time in his career last year, pitched over 200 innings. He was a 12-game winner last year. And a ground ball foul again.
When you talk to scouts about the stuff that Justin Masterson features, they will tell you that he throws a heavy ball. And most of his fastballs have registered 95 to 96 miles an hour, but it's a heavy sinker. It kind of feels like a shot put when you put the ball in play.
Got it on his hands, tied him up that time, but it's fouled off.
He started Miggy out with some real good breaking balls down and away. But the last 3 pitches have all been 95 and above. Good two-seam fastballs barreling in on Miguel.
Trying to navigate his way through 2 tough hitters in this inning. And he missed it high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Masterson's already gone 95 and above 32 times in this game.
And he does not have an out in the 4th inning yet.
Ground ball to 3rd. Behind the bag, Hanahan. 1 out. That'll bring up Prince Fielder. Fielder singled against him back in the 2nd. Infield moving around now as Kipnis goes into short right field. Last time Prince was able to beat that shift by going straight up the middle.
He hit a rocket right past Cabrera, the shortstop that's playing second base position as we speak.
0-1 on Prince. Fielder 2 out of 4 in the series. Playing in his 316th consecutive ball game tonight, albeit as DH. Missed outside, 1-1. Prince right now leading the American League in on-base percentage, .411, which is a terrific on-base percentage. And he fouls that one away, 1-2. Bosch waiting on deck. Driven in the air to right field. Chu is going over toward the gap to make the catch.
Hey fans, here's your chance to win 2012-2013 Detroit Red Wings 10-game plan. Log on to FoxSportsDetroit.com and enter for a chance to win. The 10-game plan giveaway is courtesy of Fox Sports Detroit and the Detroit Red Wings. See FoxSportsDetroit.com for complete details and rules.
2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up Brennan Bosch, who bounced out his first time up. He'll shoot that one foul down the left field line. Tigers have only 2 hits in this ball game. Fielder's single in the 2nd and Avila's double in the 3rd. Both of them led off innings. Here's the ground ball to the hole. Cabrera. And he throws him out. Nicely done by Asdrubal Cabrera. 1-2-3 inning for Justin Masterson. 4 in the books. We go to the 5th. You were with us here tonight, and so far nothing doing tonight for the Tigers offensively. Rod Masterson has come out challenging. We've showed all the pitches he's thrown 95 and above. He's not been afraid tonight.
Well, he's been able to overpower them for the most part, and they knew he was going to throw a lot of fastballs here. But he really hasn't made any mistakes out over the heart of the plate. But if he does, they'll hit him hard here.
What do you got on Rick Porcello this evening? Gave up a couple of runs early. His last inning was a good one, so hopefully a harbinger of things to come.
Well, continue to throw some ground balls and allow his offense to maybe catch up to Masterson. That's what he needs to do. He can't give up any more runs. He's already given up 3.
So the Tigers desperately need to win in this one, and kind of surprised they have struggled to get runs here against this Cleveland team.
Well, especially the way that they've been playing here at home the better part of the second half of the year. It didn't matter who has come into Comerica Park. The offense has pretty much had their way, whether it be the Toronto Blue Jays or the Los Angeles Angels or the White Sox. But for whatever reason, Cleveland shows up and they just perform.
Top of the order, Chu leading it off for Cleveland in a 3-0 ball game. We're in the 5th. There's a check swing, and he went around, according to Mr. Barrett, the third base umpire.
He has thrown a lot of breaking balls already this evening to Chu. Apparently that's the game plan given to him by Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, before the game started.
Missed it inside as Chu spins out of the way. 1-2. Chu, then Kipnis, and then Asdrubal Cabrera here in the 5th. Indians trying to add to their 5 to make it 3-0 lead. They have 5 hits. The Tigers have only 2. And a ground ball to short. Johnny 2 steps to his right. Chu hustling down the line is out. 1 gone.
First 2 innings, Porcello had a difficult time of getting ahead of the Cleveland Indians batters. But since then, he has gone 8 for 10 in first pitch strikes.
And that 8 of 10 also includes that intentional walk, which happened back in the 3rd. Here's Jason Kipnis. That's in for a strike.
And no coincidence that since he's gone 8 for 10 in first pitch strikes, some of the balls that have been hit against him have been weak ground balls, because he's been able to expand the strike zone because he's gotten ahead of Cleveland batters.
The 0-1 lifted in the air. Center fielder Jackson is under it, and there are 2 gone. So Rick now finding a groove. That is 6 in a row retired. We'll bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. RBI double back in the 3rd for Cabrera. He's knocked in 56 now. And he fouls it away 0-1. Cabrera made a fine play to close out that inning on Brennan Bosch. He has been known as a wizard defensively, although this year he has 17 errors, one more than all of last year. All-star the last 2 seasons. Here's the 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tribe got 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Now time given late time.
You talk about the 17 errors that Cabrera has made. That young kid, Escobar, also in Kansas City, has made quite a few errors. And Johnny Peralta, J.J. Hardy, the Baltimore Orioles don't get near the credit they deserve for catching every single ground ball.
It's a base hit to left. Do you think part of that, when you talk about guys like Cabrera, is that he has such terrific range that maybe he gets to some balls that will be charged errors?
I don't know if it's the balls that he gets to that he's charged with errors, but I think it may be some of the balls that he tries to throw after he's made an acrobatic play.
Right.
That might get him the error.
Well, he's just picked up a 2-out single, his second hit in this game, and number 6 overall for the Indians.
Yeah, but Johnny Peralta does not have that range that Cabrera has, nor Escobar, but boy, is he steady.
Big swing there. 0-1 on Santana. And there's something to be said about that steady guy, because when you talk about guys that can make the fancy plays, that's fun to watch, but you want a guy that's going to catch that ball that's coming right at you.
There's been no one better than he and J.J. Hardy of the Baltimore Orioles the last 2 years. Single digits in errors.
Another throw back. Back in there is Cabrera, who has 7 steals.
It appears that Porcello is determined and that he's going to give Avila a chance to throw. And should Cabrera try to steal a bag here.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. Infante can't get to it into center field. Cabrera's on his way to third. He'll make it. So Santana has a single, his second hit in this ball game. Indians with a 2-out threat going here in the 5th.
And here's one of the last guys you want to see coming up with 2 outs, because Brantley very seldom strikes out. Now let's take a look at his first at bat in the 2nd inning against Porcello. It's a bell tire pitch by pitch. Just about everything is away from Brantley. Finally, Brantley realizes, you know what, I'm going to take what he's giving me, and he threw him a ball that was down, and he sliced it down the left field line for a double and an RBI.
Then was in walked intentionally back in the 3rd. Now a chance to knock in another. And he shoots one to left field, sinking and caught by Dirks. What a play by Andy. Saved a run. Fine defensive play by Dirks, ends the inning. The Indians get a couple of hits, strand 2. And he caught it just before it hit the grass. bottom of the fifth here at Comerica Park. It'll be Kelly, Peralta, and Avila facing Justin Masterson. And he pours in a fastball strike again at 95 miles an hour.
Justin Masterson's got a pretty nice tempo going out there. He is grabbing the baseball. He is firing it home and not wasting a whole lot of time.
Bouncing ball to third, knocked down by Hanahan. Still has time. Save. Kelly beats it out.
Let's go back to that last half inning and a huge play made off of by Andy Dirks in left field. He's already playing shallow. He already knows that Brantley likes to hit the ball in that direction. And he gets a great jump on the ball, comes in, stretches out, makes a real nice play, and gets a lot of love from his teammates.
And Brantley thought he had himself another hit.
That was a nice play by Hanahan just to knock that ball down that Don Kelly hit. And a nice recovery, but Kelly, too much speed. He beat it out.
Only the third Tigers hit of this game. Peralta takes ball one.
Well, Tigers need to get ready to hit that fastball. He has thrown a lot of them today, and the majority of the fastballs have been about 95 miles an hour.
Johnny struck out in the second, ending that frame.
.62 total pitches. 89% of them have been fastballs.
That is foul tip. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers have had the leadoff man on in 3 of the first 5 innings. Masterson now gets a little chat from Lou Marson. Drew Smiley warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Pitching out of the pen since being called back up here in the final month, coming off the disabled list. Tiger bullpen loaded now with the September call-ups. They have so many extra arms. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bender. 1 and 2. Johnny in the series 1 for 5. Lead off infield single by Kelly. He's at first base. Swing and a miss.
That's dirty. That pitch right there is filthy. Look at the life on this thing. Yeesh. Looked like that same pitch that Vinny Pastano struck Johnny Peralta out in the 9th inning with for the second out of the inning. Good fastball, 93 with some real good movement, tied Johnny up.
Third strikeout for Masterson. Here's the Vila. Had a 2-base hit down the left field line back in the 3rd, and that snapped an 0 for 15 for Alex. Ball 1 on Avila. Gene Lamont flashing the signal down at 3rd as Avila gives a long look. Masterson has gone about his business tonight in a workmanlike effort. Scattering 3 hits. Now it's 2-0.
Well, if you're Vila, there's about a 90% chance you're going to get a fastball. It's going to be a good one. And here's that time where you look to hit the ball in the gap somewhere.
Fouled off. 2-1. Alex is averaging the 240 range this year, coming off an all-star season. Tigers went out and got Gerald Laird in the offseason to spell Avila a little bit more. Laird's been pretty good. I mean, he's added a lot to this team. His offensive numbers are up. Alex, though, really hasn't had that one long stretch where he's gotten really hot. Waiting on a 2-1. Ground ball to second. Should be 2. There's 1. There's 2. Taylor made 4-6-3. On to the 6th we go. Home runs all time versus the Indians in Tigers franchise history. My guess was Al Kaline, and I was wrong. Norm Cash.
Stormin' Norman.
Willie's on that list. Gehringer, Greenberg. Going back deeper into Tigers history.
And before it's all said and done, Miguel will be on that list. He's done a lot of damage against their pitching since he's put on a Tigers uniform.
He has 20.
Yep, it won't be long.
I figured Kaline because it hit more home runs than any Tiger, 399. Cabrera climbing the list, though. Porcello back to work as we head to the 6th. It is 3-0 in favor of the Indians. And Rick will face Russ Kanzler, Casey Kochman, Jack Hanahan. Missed it outside. 1-0 on Kanzler, who was pitched to after they walked Brantley intentionally back in the 3rd. They got him to fly out. He is 0 for 2 in the game. And the 1-0. Bouncing ball. Fair ball inside the bag at first base. Kanzler will pull in with a leadoff single. And for the Indians now, their 8th hit.
See Don Kelly about 15 feet off that first base line, and Kanzler a little tardy on the fastball, able to hit it right past a diving Don Kelly.
Here's Kochman. He's put the ball on the ground twice in this game. And he looks at strike 1. 229 average now for Kochman. Indians got 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, and they're trying to add some more here in the 6th. .81 is the pitch count now for Rick Porcello. He had a couple of long innings in the 2nd and 3rd. Smiley is up again in the Detroit bullpen, joined by Al Albuquerque. They're giving Kanzler a long look at first base. And he slices one foul, third base side. Well, the way things are going for the Indians tonight, you figured that would be fair. Oh and 2. 8 Cleveland hits in this one. RBIs tonight for Asdrubal Cabrera, Brantley, and then Hanahan. He fought that one off. 0-2 the count stays. We're talking about Kochman and all the stops he's made in his career. Began with the Angels. He's also played in Atlanta and Boston, Seattle. Last year, a pretty good year at Tampa, hit over 300. Ball low, 1-2. And while his offense has been somewhat inconsistent throughout his career, the glove work certainly has not been. It has been top notch. Trying to do something about a leadoff single here in the 6th. Popped up. Peralta, the shortstop, camps under it. One gone, and while we have a chance, to the studio we go for a game break. Here's Mickey York. We won't, Mick. We appreciate it, though. Here it is 3-0 in favor of the Indians as we play in the 6th inning. Tigers a game back after their loss yesterday. Chicago beat Minnesota.
We won't shoot you, but some might.
Here's a ball down low to Hanahan. Are you saying that nerves get a little bit edgy here in the month of September?
Yes, they do.
1 for 2 for Hanahan, who singled in a run back in the 2nd inning. Meanwhile, Tampa has gone ahead of New York 3-2. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1.
Last month is going to be awfully fun. Nail biting time for a lot of teams. But it's fun to be in a pennant race in September.
You think Joe Girardi is listening to talk radio in New York these days?
Probably not.
No, not if he wants to keep saying, that's for sure. Their lead over Baltimore is down to 1. Baltimore's winning again tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. Nice play by Kelly. He'll fire to second one. Relay. Safe at first base. He almost turned 2.
It's not so much the dive here by Don Kelly, which is really good, but look at the throw. That is a firm throw that hit Peralta right in the chest and made it very easy for Peralta to turn it back over and get the ball back on its way to first base. And had he been on the bag, they might have been able to complete that had there been more communication between he and Porcello, but a great play by Don Kelly.
2 outs, and Hanahan at first base. That'll bring up Lou Marson. And then Porcello was ready to bring the ball home, and Marson stepped out on him. There's a ball low. One ball, no strikes on Lou Marson. That is low. Run the count to 2-0. Marson tonight has put the ball on the ground twice. Porcello getting, again, quite a few ground balls tonight. But he is behind the number 9 hitter. 2 balls and no strikes. And it's 3-0 with Chu waiting on deck. And that probably wouldn't be a good trade-off. I'm sure he'd rather just get Marson here. Three runs, 8 hits for the Indians. No runs, 3 hits for Detroit. And that's in there, 3-1. Tigers have had a quality start in 10 of their last 13. And there's ball 4. So he walks the number 9 hitter. And here comes the skipper, it appears, with Smiley heating up. Looks like they'll bring him in here to face Shin-Soo Choo. So it's a Wellside Windows pitching change. We'll be back to Comerica. Sports Detroit Prize Pack Tuesday brought to you by Meyer. Text Meyer to 37338 to be eligible to win a fantastic prize pack that any baseball fan would love. Meyer, experience the savings, experience the difference. So Drew Smiley is on now to face the lefty Chu.
And Drew Smiley made his first relief appearance just a couple of days ago right here at Comerica Park after 16 prior games as a starter, but found himself going to the bullpen once they added Anibal Sanchez.
And again, with all the call-ups here in the month of September, Tiger bullpen is really deep. But right now the task at hand is for Smiley to get Chu and keep this a 3-0 game. 2 on for the Indians. Trying to save these runs for Porcello, who has given up 3. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Chu is 1 for 3 tonight. They have Hanahan and Marson on the bases. And the first pitch from Smiley is outside.
That is now 4 games in a row that Porcello has been on the mound where his club has not scored 1 run for him total.
Is that right?
In the 4 starts while he's been on the mound.
Yeah. Well, in his last 3 they scored, well, last 2 games they scored just 1 run. 2 runs and 3 runs.
Talk about previous lack of run support. Not 1 run in 4 outings while he's been on the mound.
So he's not going to be able to get that 10th win again here tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike on Shin-Soo Choo. Checked it. Strike call. 1-2.
Drew Smiley told me a couple of days ago that he made one relief appearance a couple of years ago in Double-A. And that's the only time he'd ever pitched out of the bullpen. But didn't seem to think it'd be an issue. And giving Jim Leland whatever he needed out of that bullpen the remainder of the season.
Smiley kind of burst out of the scene during spring camp, winning that 5 spot in the Tigers rotation, and really early on this season he pitched some really good games for Jim Leland. He was 4-3 as a starter. His ERA was a little bit over 4. Racked up a lot of strikeouts. Trying to hold the Indians at bay here. Drew Smiley pitched at Arkansas. Now Avila calls time, walks out to the mound. Two on and 2 out. Indians already leading 3-0. Tigers have managed only 3 hits in this game so far. And the 2-2. Did he go? Negative. So it's 3-2. Looked like he held up. Porcello wanted it, didn't get it. That time it looked like he went, and he did. Choo is out of there. And the inning is over. Smiley does his job. Time to get the bats going in the bottom of the 6th. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Back here in downtown Detroit on another beautiful night for baseball here. 3-0 is our score. The Indians on top. Tigers fans hoping for some runs here. They've had only 3 hits in this contest against Masterson, who misses high to Omar Infante. Then Jackson, then Dirks in the 6th. Omar sends a ground ball foul. Third base side, 1-1. 0 for 1 tonight for Omar, who is still 2 hits shy of that 1,000 plateau in his career. And he looks at a strike, 1-2. Masterson got a double play ball in the 5th after a leadoff single by Kelly. Avila's had a double and Fielder's had a single. That's it so far. He wouldn't chase the breaking ball. 2-2. Hasn't thrown too many of those tonight.
He located that one in an area where he can't get hurt either with 2 strikes.
Jackson waiting on deck. Bouncing ball to third. Hanahan. 1 out.
90% of the pitches that Masterson has thrown here this evening have been fastballs, but they're moving fastballs. These fastballs have a lot of life on them. I mean, look at that one, diving down, diving in, diving away. And he's also kept the Tigers' big boys for the most part at bay here today. So give Justin Masterson some credit, because he hadn't really pitched all that well in this ballpark, and he really hadn't pitched all that well in his career against Detroit.
Here is Austin Jackson, who's 0 for 2. 305 batting average for AJ. Well, he may have struggled in this ballpark previously, but he seems awfully comfortable out there tonight. 27-year-old out of Kingston, Jamaica.
Pitch counts in real good shape. Just 76 thrown. 77 now. And he's still throwing hard, too.
Gave you the numbers earlier on Jackson when he gets a day off, team day off or otherwise. 366 in the game following the day off. Trying to get something started here in the 6th. A little bit outside. Now the count goes to 3-1. Jackson hit an absolute bullet his last time up, but straight at the second baseman Kipnis. And he missed it outside. Jackson gets a walk. Well, we have a chance. Let's go back to the studios. Another game break. Mickey York, take it away. Everything's all good. You better keep up the good news too, Mick. Appreciate it. 5-3, so the Twinkies coming back tonight. Here's Dirks. Jackson draws the throw. The first walk tonight for Masterson. Andy 0 for 2, strikeout, line out. Jackson 11 steals. He's been caught though 7 times. And there's a strike.
There was a time where the opposing base runners would have their way with Masterson on the mound, but he has gotten better this year at limiting the amount of stolen bases that the opposition gets when he's on the mound.
In the glove for strike 2. (24) Dirk's 27 RBIs have come against right-handed pitching. And he settled back into that 2 slot against righties. Ooh, quick throw. He had him leaning and he almost picked him off. AJ was slow in getting back.
That's why sometimes you got to get your lead early. You could see Jackson with that last stutter step with that right foot, and he got caught in between, and he almost got picked as a result of that.
Popped up foul, back out of play. 0-2 on Dirks. Waiting on deck, Cabrera. And he hit a line drive right back to the mound in his last at bat. And he missed it outside, 1-2. Same two teams go at it tomorrow to wrap up the homestand for the Tigers before they hit the road for 10. Fister and Jimenez tomorrow. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Kipnis spins, fires to second. He is out there. It looked like he might have come off the base, but he didn't. According to Jim Joyce.
It's a nice job by the shortstop, Cabrera, and not trying to force the issue by turning two. Simply reached out for that baseball and made sure that he at least appeared to have that toe on the bag.
Scraped it right across the bag. 2 gone, and here is Miguel Cabrera. Breaking ball hammered to the air to left field and hit well. Kinsler back, it's gone. A 2-run shot for Cabrera. Waiting on a breaking ball there. His 34th homer of the year.
Morrison wanted the breaking ball down and away against the dangerous hitter Miguel Cabrera, and Masterson didn't get it where he wanted it, and you see the glove of Morrison kind of reach back over the heart of the dish, and that's a very dangerous area for the best hitter in the American League.
Tigers finally get on the board. It's now 3-2. Number 34 RBIs, 112 and 113. Looks like they're getting on the phone now and getting in touch with the bullpen. Ruben Niebla, the pitching coach. And so the Indians pen begins to stir. Scott Barnes warming up. And Prince takes one down low. All it takes is one swing of the bat. The Tigers finally got it. Here's the 1-0. 1-1 on Prince. Here's the Jimmy John's leaderboard. The best RBI duos in the league right now. Still Cabrera, Fielder.
They've been fantastic.
1-2. Prince has knocked in 93. He's 1 for 2 tonight. We'll get that one back out of play. Tigers get their 4th hit, and it's a big one. The 2-run shot by Miguel Cabrera. His 2nd career home run against Masterson. You knew sooner or later he probably would get him in this game. 11 for 25 against him. There's a bouncing ball foul. Nice pickup. Oh, Minnesota now up 7-3 on the White Sox in the 2nd. They're not letting up. Another ground ball foul.
Looks like with 2 strikes in every single fastball that Masterson continues to throw to Prince is away from him, and it looks like he's just trying to shoot one down in this area. We've seen Prince do that quite often this year. He rather trot around the bases, but he will take that knock the opposite way.
Off the plate, 2-2.
It's one of the reasons why he's hitting well above 300 this year. 313 to be exact. He has used foul line to foul line with his base hits.
Swing and a miss. Masterson strikes him out. And that's all for the Tigers. However, it's a brand new ball game again. Miguel Cabrera goes kaboom one more time. Number 34 on the year. To Miller time later in tonight's game. It is brought to you by Miller Lite. Round of applause, please, for Miguel Cabrera, who has hit a 2-run homer to bring his team back to within 1. 3 runs, 8 hits for the Indians. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Tigers. Well, Masterson apparently saying, I wanted it down. Not far enough. And Cabrera made him pay. Kipnis leads it off now against Drew Smyly as we go to the 7th. Kipnis, then Cabrera, then Santana for the Indians. 2, 3, and 4. And Kipnis showing bunt. Smyly came on, struck out Shin-Soo Choo with a couple of runners on in the 6th. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jason Kipnis. Hitless tonight, 0 for 3. Masterson awfully good tonight, other than that one pitch to Cabrera. That bounces in. Indians have 8 hits. Tigers now have 4. Indians have had more chances. They have stranded 7 in this contest. A little bit outside, 3-1. Porcello started, went 5 2/3 in this game, and allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. 3-1 pitch. 3-2. Fouled away. Here is Smiley's 3-2. Got him in the outside corner, strike 3. Kipnis beefing with Jim Reynolds. Reynolds looking back at him as he walks away.
Great pitch by Smiley. It's a breaking ball in a 3-2 count. And he has enough confidence that he's going to throw a strike with the pitch. And that's exactly what he does. Smiley has a couple different breaking balls. He has that little get me over breaking ball that he threw there on the 3-2 count. And then he has another breaking ball with a little bit more bite to it. That's the one that he throws when he's trying to get a swing and miss.
Strike one on Asdrubal Cabrera. 2 out of 3 tonight. Doubled in run back in the third. Here's the 0-1. Smiley last year was the Tigers pitcher of the year in the minor leagues. Split time between Lakeland and Erie, which makes his ascent to the big leagues this year that much more impressive. Not a whole lot of professional experience coming into this season. Although you can say that pitching at Arkansas in front of the crowds he pitched in front of was a good primer before pro baseball. The SEC. Here's the 2-1. In for a strike, 2-2. And he missed outside. Run it full now, 3-2. Santana waiting on deck. Here's the full count pitch. Got him, strike 3. 2 gone.
Take you back to the third inning. It was when Porcello was on the mound and it was Cabrera in the batter's box. He hit a ball down the first baseline that Kelly dove for. It appeared that the ball was foul, but it was called fair by James Hoy, the first base umpire, and the run did score. Jim Leland came out to protest momentarily, but nothing was changed. It was a double and an RBI for Asdrubal Cabrera.
And right now that is the difference in the game. That was their third run. Here's Santana. Ball 1 to Santana.
Back-to-back strikeouts to Kipnis and also Cabrera on breaking balls from Drew Smiley.
There's the strike.
Smiley could factor in huge down the stretch and even into the month of October if they are able to pitch well into October. It gives Jim another option of having another left-hander in that bullpen.
Strike called, 1-2. Well, he has faced 3 batters in this game and struck all 3 of them out. And he's ahead of Santana here.
If he does throw a breaking ball, this will be a bigger breaking ball. This one, Avila might have to block.
And he does. Did he go? No, he did not.
That's the one he likes to throw when he wants to swing and miss, but Santana was not offering at it.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Carlos Santana, 3-2 Indians. Way high. 3-2. Drew had a 10 strikeout game against Kansas City as a starter this year, and he walked him. 2 out base on balls.
The Tigers host the Minnesota Twins Friday, September 21st at 7:05. The first 10,000 fans will receive a set of Detroit Tigers luggage tags. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Albuquerque is still up in the Detroit bullpen. Here's Michael Brantley. Robbed of a hit by left fielder Andy Dirks back in the 5th. Brantley also has an RBI double. Three runs, 8 hits for the Indians. 2 runs, 4 hits for Detroit. Santana modest lead at first base. And a ball outside. Well, Avila heads out to the mound. 2-0 on Michael Brantley. Drew's done some really good work here. Doesn't want to make a mistake on 2-0 to Brantley. Tigers have crawled back to within 1 run. For whatever reason, it's just been a struggle this year against these Indians. Cleveland winning another tight one yesterday. And the Tigers 5-8 against the Tribe this year. There's a strike, 2-1. Good numbers against everybody else, including the White Sox. They've won 10 of 14 against Chicago. And there's a ball low. 3-1. Brantley way ahead in the count. Kansler on deck. Indians have not scored since getting a run in the 3rd. Smiley trying to keep it that way here in the 7th. Here's the 3-1. He walked him. So after 2 strikeouts, back-to-back walks. And here comes the skipper. So Albuquerque, it appears, is going to come into this ball game. His debut for 2012. We'll step aside. Pitching change here at the ballpark. Hill, he will take over now in a 3-2 ball game.
Albuquerque had his coming out party last April 30th against this Cleveland Indians team. He pitched 3 innings and he struck out 6. And that slider was lethal that evening, and that's the pitch that he continued to feature pretty much all season long. When he came into the game, there was going to be lots of strikeouts, and the majority of the strikeouts were on the breaking ball, but he did have a really good fastball as well. His fastball got up to 97, 98 on occasion.
Here is Kanzler to step in now with 2 on and 2 outs, and he looks at a strike.
Imagine that. First pitch, slide feed.
1.87 ERA last year out of the bullpen. Numbers were terrific for Al. The Indians have 2 men on. Here's the 0-1. Inside, did he go? Negative. Numbers at Toledo, 9 games, 18 strikeouts in 10 2/3. Swing and a miss. Tigers really have a potentially lethal combination in Albuquerque and Villarreal. 2 guys can come out of the pen and get you a strikeout. Not even talking about Dotel and Benoit and Valverde. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 3-8-0 for the Indians, 2-4-0 for Detroit.
Albuquerque has thrown 4 straight sliders to Kanzler. He's got him set up for a fastball if he chose to throw that pitch. And if he wants to go to the slider, he can get a swing and miss on that too.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Albuquerque in his 2012 debut. Nicely done. Indians strand a pair. Here's the slider. The ballpark. Albuquerque comes in and picks up the strikeout, and a big one for the Tigers. Here's the Bernstein advantage. It brings you the scouting report on the Indians pitching staff. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you. And this year the starters not so good. The relievers, much different story.
Their relievers got off to a really good start, and they've still pitched some really good baseball. But the second half of the year, they've logged 40% of the team's innings, and that's way too high if you're going to continue to be effective as a bullpen.
So the Tigers now will send Bosch, Kelly, and Peralta up there in the bottom half of the 7th. 3-2 is our score. 1-run game. And the first pitch is in for a strike from Barnes. Bosch 0 for 2, couple of ground balls in his 2 at-bats against Masterson.
Throwing strikes can be an issue for Barnes. In the 12 innings he's pitched in the big leagues, he has walked 7. Got a little hesitation in his delivery as well.
This is the 4th stint with the Indians this year. September call-up.
He hides the baseball well, as behind the leg, then all of a sudden he comes up and he stops.
Remember Ryan Garco?
I do remember Ryan Garco.
Former Indian. He went over to San Francisco in a deal for this guy Barnes. That's how they got him back in 2009. Haven't heard that name in a while.
Have not.
1-2. And a drive in the air to center field and hit well. Brantley on the run. Boy, he hit that ball a long way.
Brennan appears to be getting and having his best at bats lately against left-handed pitching. It was Liriano a couple of days ago. He tripled, and then he homered against Chris Sale, and he gave this one a ride against Barnes.
Don Kelly due up, but he will not bat. Abisail Garcia will pick up the bat. The bat for Kelly.
Garcia has had 3 hits since coming up from the minor leagues. 2 of the hits have gone the opposite way, and 1 of the hits have gone back to left field. The other day, this was an absolute missile on Sunday evening. A double over the head of Alex Rios. Actually, it was a single that was hit so hard he couldn't stretch into a double.
His buddy Miggy was loving it. And it looks like Matty Acta will take Barnes out of the game. So the Indians go to the bullpen. The average division lead this season in the American League is only 2 games over in the National League. It's 6.5 games. So the pennant races have been a little bit better in the AL. Got a new pitcher now. That would be Joe Smith. He will take over.
And primarily he's been their 7th inning guy all season long, and he's done some really good work in that 7th inning. A 3.13 ERA, 54 innings logged. He has punched out 43 and he has walked 22. But that batting average is just above 200 against right-handers.
So Garcia was scheduled to pinch hit with the change in pitchers. Avisail comes out, and he is pinch hit for by Quentin Berry. He shows bunt. Low and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
No secrets anymore. Manny Acta knew that Jim Leland would pinch hit for Kelly with the left-hander out there, and Jim also knew if the right-hander came in, he'd have Quentin Berry ready to go.
Now the 1-1. Missed it inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Quentin started the game yesterday, finished 1 out of 4, singled, stole a base, scored a run.
Miggy and Miggy Jr.
Checked it. Don't believe he went, and he didn't. So now it's 3-1. Right back up the middle, but Cabrera is there, and he'll throw out Quentin. 2 gone. Hit it hard back up the middle. Ezekiel Carrera has taken over now in left field for Russ Kanzler. More speed in the outfield for Cleveland. Here's Johnny Peralta. Johnny, a couple of strikeouts in the game. And he waves and misses. 0-1.
They've been crowding Johnny with a lot of fastballs inside all series long.
Wave and a miss. Masterson, Barnes, and Smith tonight for the Cleveland Indians. Smith trying to get this thing to the 8th inning. It's a 1-run lead right now for Cleveland. And he laid off that time, 1-2. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, heating up. 2-2 the count. Only 4 hits tonight for Detroit, but one of them was a biggie, the 2-run homer by Miguel Cabrera. Ground ball, third base side. That's a fair ball. Hanahan, tough play, throws high off the bag.
Looked like Hanahan came across the bag very nonchalant, and then he threw off the right foot. And a lot of times when you throw off the right foot, you don't get through the baseball and you don't get your arm at an angle which would allow you to get the ball down, and Kochman saved him an error there.
It is an error.
2 errors then.
First of the game for the Indians. And he'll bring up Avila. Oh, down he goes. Avila hit by the pitch. He got him on the thigh. Back thigh. Apparently the foul tips are not enough. Now he is drilled in the leg, and here comes skipper Jim Leland also marching out there. Ruben Nieblo, the pitching coach, heading out to the hill. It's a tri bullpen that has been pretty good against the Tigers this year.
Well, they've been outstanding. You take a look at all of their numbers, whether it be Smith in the 7th or Vastano in the 8th or Chris Perez in the 9th. And the only blemish was for Perez when he gave up about 5 earned runs and took an L against the Tigers trying to get that 8th save this year against Detroit batters.
So now with 2 outs, nobody on, you get an error, you get a hit batter. And some trouble for Cleveland, and Infante will step in. Omar 2 ground ball outs in this game. Strike 1 on Omar. Smith was ahead of Peralta 0-2. The ground ball there gave him a base runner, then a hit batter. Ground ball to short. Through Cabrera has it. They'll get the force at second, and the inning is over. No runs. Tigers get a couple of batters strand 2. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. With a couple of runs in the second on 3 hits, the RBI is going to Micah Brantley, and then Jack Hanahan singled to left center field. That made it 2-0 in favor of the Tribe.
They didn't stop there. Asdrubal Cabrera in the third, he doubled down the first baseline against Porcello when he was in the game, and that was the third run they scored. But the Tigers countered. It was a breaking ball. It was in the 6th inning. It was against their starter, Justin Masterson, who was real good today, but he didn't get the breaking ball where he wanted to. And Miguel played long ball into the Tigers bullpen.
Well, Miguel Cabrera now is going to shift over to first base. Don Kelly out of the game. So Cabrera moves to first, and Danny Worth is the new third baseman. As Jim Leland utilizes his bench, 3-2 is our score. The Indians have the lead as we go to the 8th. Casey Kochman will start things off against Al Albuquerque. Kochman, Hanahan, Marson due up. First pitch is driven in the air to center. Straight at Austin Jackson. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Kochman got that first pitch fastball. He wasn't waiting around for that slider. He was going to put that fastball in play.
One gone. He wasn't hanging around for that slider, was he?
No.
Here's Hanahan. The only other time Cabrera has played first base this year was back in April against Texas, and that was a switch in the 11th inning of a game in April. He's back out there. He's familiar with the position, of course. Swing and a miss by Hanahan. Big fellow was playing some really good first base prior to the switch, with Prince Fielder coming over this year. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Indians have doubled the hit totals, 8-4. In 7 games against the Indians, 14 strikeouts in 9 innings. No runs. 1-2.
And they always have quite a few left-handed bats at their disposal, so left-handers really have not bothered Albuquerque when he's gone up against the Tribe.
Ground ball hit to the right side. To the grass goes Infante. Nice play. 2 gone.
Don't forget, fans, you can follow the Tigers at the MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
Now Lou Marson will bat. Marson looks at a fastball strike.
Albuquerque has touched 94 since coming into the game. Last year he would get up to 97, 98 on occasion. And Jim said the scouting report that he was given on Albuquerque before they decided to recall him was a really good one. He pitched in back-to-back days, which is a prerequisite as far as Leland is concerned. When you're calling up someone to help you out of the bullpen, they have to pitch in back-to-back days, especially guys coming off injuries.
Broken bat roller towards short. Peralta charging. Gonna barehand it. Marson is out. Albuquerque has faced 4 batters in this game, and they've all gone down.
Do not see Johnny do this very often. He usually likes to use the glove, but that time, do or die fashion.
Is trying to hold down the lead, and Vinny Pestano will take over in this one.
Their closer, Chris Perez, was not here yesterday, so Pestano was called on to get the last 3 outs of the game, and that's exactly what he did. But he needed a little help from Jason Kipnis, their second baseman, who made a whale of a play to end the game, taking a base hit away from Alex Avila.
So Pestano's out in the 8th inning in this one, and here are his numbers this year. They are awfully good.
33 holds already this year, which means that's the one that primarily gets the ball to the closer, and he's been tremendous in doing so. Right-handers hitting 152 against Vinny this year. Lefties not all that better.
So it's going to be the top of the Tigers lineup. Jackson, Dirks, Cabrera in a 1-run game. And Pestano misses outside. 1 ball to no strikes. Swing and a miss. Make it 1-1.
And most 8th inning guys will tell you that pitching those final 3 outs of the game are very, very difficult to do. And it looked like if Pestano was not going to be successful yesterday.
Missed it outside.
Prince Fielder, the first hitter that he faced in the 9th inning, he doubled off Pastano, but he was left stranded at third base.
Pastano has always been a big strikeout guy, even in the minor leagues. Here's the 2-1. High, 3-1. Andy Dirks on deck. Sometimes that 8th inning guy has to face tougher hitters than the 9th inning guy. Equally important his role. But once you do it in the 9th inning, a different feel to it. Here's the 3-1. Fouled off 3-2. Been a tight one tonight. No surprise. It usually is between these two teams. We're at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. Mario and Rod here. Glad you are with us this evening. Brady Klima is our producer. Brian Moss directing tonight from Comerica Park. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. And Jackson is out of there.
He fell behind Austin at 3-1 and came back with a couple of fastballs that split the plate. The last one at 92 miles an hour.
Here's Andy Dirks. The old bloop and a blast would work right here. Tigers are down by 1 run.
They've got a nice combination to do so.
0 for 3 tonight for Dirks, reaching out a fielder's choice, scoring his last time. Here's ball 2. 2-0 on Dirks. Joaquin Benoit along with Papa Grande. Depending on what transpires here in the 8th. Popped him up. Shallow left field. Carrera coming on. 2 outs.
Last 3 hitters. Quentin Berry was sitting up there in the 3-1 count. He grounded out. Jackson had a 3-1 count before finally striking out on the 3-2 pitch, and Dirks was sitting 2-0. They're getting the counts that they need to be in, but just not having any success finding holes out there.
Well, here is Cabrera. He hit the 2-out 2-run homer off Masterson in the 6th inning to make it 3-2, but his numbers against Pastano are 0 for 5. And strike 1.
Vinny's got a pretty firm fastball from that arm slot that he throws from, low 3/4 arm slot. Not quite as low as Max Scherzer's arm slot, but it's not over the top either.
A little sling action to it, it looks like.
But he's got some life on his fastball.
1 ball, 1 strike. White Sox trailing tonight as well, 7-4. They're in the 5th inning. Cabrera's home run back in the 6th was his 34th. Here's the 1-1. Make it 1-2 on Miguel Cabrera.
Miguel Cabrera very much in the Triple Crown conversation. Batting average, home runs, RBIs. Which seems nearly impossible these days to accomplish.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. Swing and a miss, and Pastano dusted him to end the inning. A 1-2-3 frame for Vinny. And here's the upcoming pitching matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet. Tomorrow night we're going to see Ubaldo Jimenez and Doug Fister in the finale.
And Tigers really beat up on Jimenez last year when he came from the Colorado Rockies to the trade deadline, but they have not done as much this year. And meanwhile, Doug Fister, if you want to get back on track, he walked 5 days ago and hit a couple batters too. So Doug Fister didn't have as good command in his last start.
And hopefully that'll return tomorrow night. Joaquin Benoit is the new pitcher now for Detroit.
Well, he just wants to keep the score where it's at right now. And the Cleveland Indians have a 1-run lead, so can't give up any more.
Top of the order coming up, it'll be Shin-Soo Choo, Jason Kipnis, Asdrubal Cabrera.
Nice work by Albuquerque in his debut in 2012.
I would say so, and that's got to be really encouraging at Jim Leyland. 4 up, 4 down.
It lengthens that bullpen for sure with Villarreal, Smiley, Albuquerque, Coke, Benoit, and Papa Grande.
Chu looks at a strike, 1-1. Shin-Soo has a double in 4 at bats in this ball game tonight. Indians lead 3-2 in the 9th. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
That Vulcan changeup that Benoit features, that's been such an effective pitch for him. You can see how he grips that pitch. Most guys throw circle changes. He does not. His is almost like a split-fingered fastball.
Really not a whole lot of difference between those two with him, right?
The splitter and his changeup?
Yeah, the way he holds it.
Not the way he holds it, no. And the action is the same. Velocity on split-fingered fastballs might be a little bit greater than it is on his changeup, but the action is still the same.
Saw Chris Perez, their closer, back off the paternity list, and so he will pitch in this game tonight. Here's the 1-2. Low. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Chu.
Well, the last time Chris Perez was on this mound, he didn't have a good feeling. Good taste in his mouth when he left.
Tigers got him. 2 outs, nobody on.
Looks like he's growing his beard back. He was going through such a tough stretch there for a moment. He was clean shaven.
Chu goes down swinging.
You know the drill by now. As soon as the game ends, our coverage does not. It will continue with Tigers Live. You will hear from the manager, Jim Leyland, just as you always do, and the players. We'll break down the game, show you some highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Here's Kipnis. In for strike 1. Well, let's see. The Indians got 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and they've been kept off the board since by both Porcello, or not both, but by Porcello, and the bullpen as well. Smiley, Albuquerque, Benoit. The 0-1 pitch. Bouncing in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right back up the middle into center field, and Kipnis with a 1-out single. That'll be the 9th hit of the night now for the Indians.
And Benoit's going to have to give Avila a chance to throw. And Kipnis loves to run. He's leads their club in steals with 26, and he won't stay over at first base very long. And not if Benoit is not paying any attention to him. Jim Leyland handles the running game, so more than likely he will tell Avila to at least throw over once or twice.
Ball 1 to Asdrubal Cabrera. Tigers in the 9th inning will have Fielder, Bosch, and Worth due up.
Delman Young is still sitting on that bench.
Good chance we'll see him. Huh?
Yeah, I don't think he'll let him sit over there, not with a one-run spread. Not the way he's been hitting the ball out of the yard.
There goes the runner. Avila's throw, bouncing in, got him! Oh, what a tag! Peralta slapped it on Kipnis, 2 gone.
Kipnis had a pretty good jump, but Benoit got the ball to Avila in a timely manner, and Avila able to get on that front knee and get on top of the ball. He bounced it, so he needed some help from Peralta, but it's quite a contrast in what we watched yesterday in the way that Avila was throwing the ball. And he told me before the game today, if they ran, he would make sure he got the ball down.
And missed outside, 3-0.
One more look at the exchange, pointing that front shoulder down towards second base, and real sweet pick by Peralta.
Looked like he was safe. We'll take it. Here's the 3-0. Swing and a miss. Get the hack on 3-0, 3-1. Now Benoit ready with the 3-1. Here it is. It is outside, ball 4, so they get that base runner right back. It'll bring up Santana. Two for 3 tonight. Santana, 2 singles and a walk. He has scored a run as well. In there, strike 1 by Carlos Santana. Three early runs for the Indians in this game, but nothing since the 3rd. The Tigers got their 2 in the 6th. Ball high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera down at first, just 7 steals this year. Swing and a miss. Not a big rip there by Santana. One and 2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Benoit strikes out 2 in the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Tigers need at least a run, and the Prince will lead things off. Perez will take over. And Rob, the last time he was in this ballpark, it was in early August, and the wheels just fell off.
He called it the worst day of his professional career. He got the first 2 outs, and then he walked a couple, and then everybody just seemed to find some holes, and then you had the big fella coming to the dish to win the game.
Perhaps the most electric win the Tigers had this season. Cabrera capping it off. Tigers won 10-8. And now we'll see if Perez can get it done here in the 9th inning tonight as Fielder stands in. He threw 30 pitches in that game, and the first pitch is outside of Prince. Fielder, then Bosch, and then more than likely a pinch hitter for Danny Wirth.
On the right side of the infield, Kochman, their first baseman, is playing no doubles down that line. And they're also playing real deep in the outfield. All the outfielders are very deep.
One ball, one strike on Fielder. Prince tonight is 1 for 3. Swing and a miss, and a mighty swing by Prince.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to circle the pillows with one swing.
1-2. And a swing and a miss, and down he goes.
Nice slide piece there by Chris Perez. 96 on the previous pitch, which was a fastball. And then he comes back and pulls the string and located it beautifully down in the zone.
So Pistano struck out 2 in the 1-2-3-8, and now Perez strikes out Fielder here in the 9th. Here's Bosch. Wave and a miss, 0-1, and Delman Young has indeed moved to the on-deck circle.
Well, playing close games for the Cleveland Indians, really nothing new. They are 17-8 in one-run contests this year. And the only team better than them, the Baltimore Orioles.
And both of those teams have really good bullpens. Not surprisingly. Strike called, and now it's 0-2. So Bosch is in a hole. One out, nobody on. We're in the 9th, 3-2. The Indians have the lead. And he got him, strike 3. Bosch is caught looking. Perez strikes out Fielder, and he catches Bosch for strike 3.
Right down the middle at 94.
So Delman Young will pinch hit for Danny Wirth. 17 home runs for Delman. He had 2 hits in yesterday's game plus an RBI. Swing and a miss. 96 from Perez.
Perez ain't messing around tonight.
No, he's not. Delman a 9-game hitting streak. Missed it low and away, 1-1. He has thrown 9 pitches, 7 have been strikes. Well, 1-1. Bouncing ball to second base should do it. Kipnis has it, and the Indians have won the first 2 games in the series. Another 1-run victory for Cleveland, and they've taken games 1 and 2. Final score here tonight, 3-2 Cleveland. Back with more.